And today, we will be witnessing the speech on its passion show proper. Of course, the speech from our chairperson of the National Commission for Culture in the Arts that represent the Philippines, no other than Dr. Rene Escalante, and with the Ambassador of Indonesia, His Excellency Agus Widjojo.
His Excellency Agus Widjojo, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia, Excellencies and friends from the Diplomatic Corps, fellow workers in the government, distinguished guests, colleagues and friends, mga kababayan, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. On behalf of the National Commission for Culture in the Arts, I am pleased to welcome you to the Metropolitan Theater for the program Filipino Barong, Wastra Indonesia, Trends and Patterns of Kinships. Tonight's program is the first activity under the Memorandum of Understanding in Cultural Cooperation between the Philippines and Indonesia, signed last September. It is interesting that this maiden offering is a fashion show featuring the most esteemed among the costumes of our countries, the Barong for the Philippines and the Wastra Indonesia. Both our countries have a long tradition of preserving our indigenous tradition in textile and fashions. In our case, for example, the earliest surviving depiction of native costume can be found in the famous Boxer Codex, a nearly 500-year-old manuscript which illustrates not only ethnic groups in the country, but as well as our Pacific neighbors. It is clear from the Boxer Codex how in clothing, as well as in ornaments and tattoos, our ancestors were able to express their culture, tradition, and identities. Despite the marked divisions caused by the differences in geographic location or social class, what is common is the ability to allow the medium, namely the textile, to exude the pride inherent in their cultures. Today, we continue to be heirs to that glorious tradition as we feed the Barong and the Wastra Indonesia in our fashion show. As in time past, the two continue to serve as important symbols of the rich tapestry of our respective cultures. I hope that given the mutual importance we give to our clothing and textile heritage, the Barong and the Wastra Indonesia will also serve as a symbol of our common race, our common history, and our common aspiration. Indeed, the ties that bring our two countries, the Philippines and Indonesia, together. Before I end, I wish to express our sincerest gratitude to the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia for its unwavering commitment to promote cultural relations between these two countries. We look forward to future collaborations that promote people-to-people exchanges and encourage continuous learning and appreciation of each other's culture. Mabuhay! Terima kasih. Maraming salamat po.
Honorable Dr. Rene Escalante, Chairman of NCCA, Excellencies, Ambassadors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. I think it means good evening to each and everyone, if I'm right. I am honored to be here, especially in this special night, as we celebrate the most important drivers of the Indonesian-Philippines relationship, and that is our strong people-to-people ties and cultural heritage. Indonesia and the Philippines have not only proven to be old friends, but as His Excellency President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said during his bilateral meeting with President Joko Widodo in Jakarta last September 2022, the Philippines considers Indonesians not only as a neighbor, not only a friend, but kin. And that is what tonight is all about. We will cherish our friendship, value our kinship through cultural awareness and appreciation. Understanding one's culture promotes respect and tolerance that can sort out cultural differences. Thereby, harmonious coexistence is at hand. This show, titled Filipino Barong Wastra Indonesia, Threads and Patterns of Kinship, wants to reflect that special bond of the two nations. Just like the interwoven threads that were beautifully and securely fastened, we hope that Indonesia and the Philippines can withstand the test of time. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, clothing is one of the cultural expressions. Fashion has always been derived from culture. The clothes we wear tell stories of our culture and our heritage. That's how clothes strongly communicate. Tradition also plays an important role in the creation of those clothes, in the sense that the materials, the motifs, the process are all culture-based. We, the Indonesian Embassy and the NCCA, have gathered the country's cream of the crop in the fashion and textile industry and take pride in presenting their works of art for everyone to see. Tonight's cultural fashion show flaunts the barong of the Philippines, the traditional clothes of Indonesia, known as Wastra Indonesia, including batik in different and more dramatic interpretation. Two of Indonesia's well-known fashion designers, Widjojo, who is known for his meticulously handicrafted designs, and Novita Yunus, who carries her fashion brand Batik Chic. The amalgamation of traditional and contemporary will be presenting their collections. The Philippines' ingenious fashion designer, Steve De Leon, known for his spiritual artware and the household name in ready-to-wear barong. The Onesimus will also be presenting theirs. The show will also feature the barong batik, the brainchild of Mr. Freddy Mercado, a Filipino expat in Jakarta, where he applies the age-old customary processes of Indonesian batik technique to the Philippine using. And the result is an excellent representation of two cultures combined into one. His Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is noteworthy to mention that tonight's event is another milestone in the diplomatic relations of Indonesia and the Philippines. It is the initial enactment of the Memorandum of Understanding on Cultural Cooperation between the two countries that was signed during the visit of the Philippines President to Indonesia in September of this year. The signing of the MOU sets the tone on how both countries should strengthen the bridge that connects the people and leverage cultural diversity. This event also coincides with the 73rd anniversary of the Indonesia-Philippines diplomatic relations, which will fall 4 days from now, which is the November. I repeat, November the 24th. At this point, allow me to express my deepest gratitude to NCCA for collaborating with us and to the Metropolitan Theatre for providing such a beautiful venue for this event to happen. My special thanks also goes to the designers for their contributions in the project, to the Al-Azhar Junior High School and the Male Ensemble, Philippines, for our entertainment pleasure. At this juncture, I will also express my highest appreciation to the male ensemble Philippines, the air divo of the Philippines, in singing the Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya. If it was the only requirement to be an Indonesian citizen, you are all already Indonesian citizens. The bad news, unfortunately, is not. Saving the best for the last, I want to thank all of you for spending your time with us. Muli maraming salamat po. Once again, thank you very much. So let's dim the lights and let the show begin. Thank you.
You've just witnessed the speech of the two representatives of the two countries. Of course, in our country, Philippines, is the chairperson of NCCA, Dr. Rene Escalante, and on the representative of regarding in the Indonesia is no other than the Embassy of Indonesia, represented by Ambassador His Excellency Agus Widjojo. This is MJ Alvina Balaguer of DZMJ Online, makabuluhang journalismo, your happiness channel.